you next time, guys. Okay, cool. Oh, hey, how's it going? I didn't expect you. I was just finishing my Zoom. But anyway, I'm Chris from Electronic Ghost Machine, and you're watching Beat on the Street!
What's up, guys? I'm Michael Anthony of PopArtAve.com, and welcome to episode 15 of the Beat on the Street. If you've never seen this series before, I try to bring you some of the best music from indie musicians and record labels from around the world. Today's episode, I'll have a great interview with Alpha Chrome Yayo, as well as an interview with ASHUREI. But first up, let's check out some new music videos from Echobery, Czarina, and the Lightening Kids.
light beyond extraordinary light. Did I see you coming till your hand came reaching? Living as a falling, convinced I won't make it last tonight. Till you've reached out your hand. Pulling me, pulling me, pulling me, pulling me, holding me. So we can fly, la la, away, la 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 la la, away,
to what you love and hate. Don't forget it's the hour of the songs you've asked for by request. Bring these and great music right here.
Driving in the dark, riding next to you, driving through the night like we used to do, a little too fast. Nobody's here to see, a shot in the dark. This night is for you and me. Ooh, I wanna ride with you. Ooh, I wanna ride with you. Driving in the dark, headlights on the sea, shadows in the night, where you used to be, a little bit lost, running on memories, out on the road. Nobody's here with me. Ooh, I wanna ride with you. Ooh, I wanna ride with you.
Come and save our souls, make us winners. 'Cause right now we're just sinners. Ooh, 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 ooh. We're just sinners. Ooh, 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 ooh. We're just sinners. Did you mean what you said, more or less? Oh, everything for you. I just got a thing for you. Thing for you. Thing for you. I just got a thing for you. Back to every place I go. I know that you'll be waiting for the right time to recall the memories of tomorrow and always. Tomorrow and always. Every time I see you falling, I get down on my knees and pray. I wait for that final moment. You say the words that I can't say. I've been feeling tired, feeling blunt, thinking all the things that you said. Darling, up and down every road in town, trying to get you out of my head. In California.
Welcome back to the show, guys. I hope you're enjoying everything so far. Without further ado, let's check out the interview with Alpha Chrome Yayo.
Holy shit, it's ACY.
Guys, let me introduce today ACY, Alpha Chrome Yayo. Thank you for being on the show today. How are you?
Hey dude, thank you so much for having me. It's my total pleasure to be here. It's warms my heart.
Oh, thank you. I appreciate it. The pleasure is mine. This is really awesome to finally get to meet you, talk with you. I know I've been following your music since 19th hole, I believe. when I first started listening.
Oh man, I love that. I know you're a huge supporter of not just my music, but music in general, and it means a lot to me, man. I appreciate that a lot.
Oh, thank you. So how would you describe your music to everybody?
You know, it's a real tough one because when I first started putting out music as Alpha Chrome Yayo, like it was kind of more synthwave leaning, and you know, I still feel like I'm kind of that world in some shape or form, you know. But what I do isn't easy to classify. Like sometimes it's kind of jazz fusion stuff, sometimes it's weird like body horror, almost black metal kind of stuff. Excuse me, I've got a horrible cold. It's tough for me to describe. The phrase I've started using is far out exotic music because that kind of can mean anything but sounds kind of enticing, I hope. I have a tough time describing it, but far out seems about right. I like the word exotic. It sounds like it folds in elements from all sorts of places, and that's what I try to do the most.
That's really awesome. I think one of the genres you mentioned was city pop, and I like that a lot.
Oh yeah, well, I'm a big fan of city pop. I know you are too. I like anything I can take from that world and try and make my own. It makes me very happy, and it's what I listen to a lot myself. You know, I mean, I listen to a lot of music, as I know you do too. But yeah, I'm a huge fan of city pop, and especially with my more recent releases, I tend to delve into that world a little bit.
That's awesome. That's really cool. So, how did you get into music? Like, was it at an early age, or is it something you picked up later?
Yeah, I mean, I kind of always played music in some shape or form. I mean, I had like piano lessons and stuff in school. Actually, not in school, like from a lovely woman down the road from my parents when I was really young. But like, it was when my parents, who've always have been and continue to be huge supporters of what I do, they got me an electric guitar when I was like 11 years old, and that just blew my mind. I mean, even like just touching the strings and plugging this thing in made there was amazing sound. I tried to play like an acoustic guitar before. I was kind of shit at it. I just couldn't get it. But this thing made sense, and that's when just like my musical world just exploded. I mean, one of my first memories ever is seeing Bill and Ted's Excellent Adventure. I used to watch that movie on repeat. I still watch it on repeat quite a bit. I always wanted to make sounds that sounded kind of like that. I don't know what I do always sound like that. And I do have a cover out of like one of the big tracks now, In Time by Robbie Robb. I would say the most romantic song ever written, but I digress. So I started off wanting to make music like that, which I guess in hindsight, the Bill and Ted soundtrack, I love it, but it's kind of almost like Z-list, like hair metal ballads and stuff. I think that's awesome. I still think it's awesome. I thought it was cool then. I think it's cool now. But obviously the music I make is kind of slightly different. When I first started doing Alpha Chrome Yayo stuff, like I originally got into synthesizers because I wanted to make like soundtracks to my own D&D games and stuff, and then it felt like a kind of a natural evolution to sort of like investigate more synth-based music, and synthwave is a kind of huge part of that and stuff. And synthesizers still are a large part of what I do. I'm surrounded by them right now. I don't see them, but there's shitloads of them all around me. You know, I like music. I like making music on all sorts of instruments. Some of them I'm not bad at. Some of them I am bad at. I like all kinds of instruments. And I always have. So yeah, I've always been interested in music. But I guess I started doing Alpha Chrome Yayo a few years ago, and that's kind of snowballed and stuff. And it's now something I do. Like I make lots of like sort of commissions and soundtracky kind of stuff, and I do that under the name Alpha Chrome Yayo as well. So it started as something just for fun, and still something I find extremely fun, and I love it. I do it, so I enjoy it. But it's a huge part of my life now, and that's great. I wouldn't have it any other way. That's
awesome. That's really cool. Yeah, I like how you came out with Dead Air, and that was, to me anyway, that was like a big surprise. Like, oh my god, it's like a lot darker than I'm used to. Oh man,
I had fun with that album. I mean, I always kind of forget just exactly when things come out. So I'm going to open up my own Bandcamp here. When did I put that out? That was oh my god, yeah, quite a while ago. September last year. So I guess I was probably getting in kind of Halloween spirit and stuff. But I'm a spooky kid. I'm always in the Halloween spirit, man. You know, I live and breathe horror movies. And it was only a matter of time, I guess, before that kind of found its way into my music. I've had kind of slightly darker leaning stuff in the past. I had an album called Choke that came out in the first half of 2021. But Dead Air, I just went all out, you know. It's just full of static and body horror and screams. I mean, I recorded lots of it in here in my little home studio. Most of my releases don't have too much in the way of vocals, so I do have some soundproofing here, but you know, it wasn't quite my neighbours weren't ready for the amount of screaming I was doing in this room. You know, I was streaking the walls, sounding about choking on blood and stuff, all the cool things. So yeah, I'm really glad you like it, man. I love that album. I love the cool the artwork by Alpha, a Cuban artist who I worked with on. It's everything. I enjoyed making it so much. I mean, I find like horror and stuff extremely fun. I think horror can be really therapeutic as well. I mean, I mentioned that I've kind of had a flu all week. It's why I'm maybe a bit croaky. I don't know if you hear it or not. No. But when I get kind of unwell, I dive into horror movies. I spent all week just watching watched a really good found footage kind of Japanese one called Cult, which was really cool, by the same dude who did Noroi and stuff. It's something I find horror exciting, but I also find it kind of soothing and cozy. I don't think I'm alone in that. You know, there's something amazing about horror that when you kind of immerse yourself in something kind of horrible, it's not a schadenfreude thing. I'm not saying it makes me feel better about my world, but you know, it's there's something about it. There's just something really cozy and weirdly calming. So I liked sort of putting out music on Dead Air that was steeped in horror, but I kind of mixed it with sort of slightly kind of chill wavy stuff, and there's a few jazz tracks on it and things. Yeah, I just I like finding weird wormholes and going down them.
I know, I think it was awesome. It was really cool.
I appreciate it.
Yeah, I mean, I'm a fan of horror movies from like the 80s and 90s. Like, I don't know if I have any from recent. I don't even know. I'd have to.
You know, I would be exactly the same. There was a time where I was kind of thinking, you know, I couldn't even name a horror movie past kind of like mid 90s for a while that I liked. These days, I'm kind of getting slightly more into kind of like early 2000s horror and stuff. But still, I mean, it's hard to get past the 80s and 90s for great years for horror and stuff. Then even going back a bit further, I love all the kind of kitschy, like Herschel Gordon Lewis, like gore movies and everything from the 60s. Really trippy and fun and stuff. But yeah, the 80s and 90s, I'm with you there. You know, that's the golden age as far as I'm concerned.
Yeah, I remember growing up getting the magazines. We had can't think of the name of them now, but there was like a ton of magazines like just for that. You know, I had the fake arm. I used to have the fake arm. I used to hide it in my refrigerator. I would scare people.
Oh, dude, yeah, I love a good fake body part. That's yeah, endless fun.
Yep.
Yeah, cool. We're the same, you and I.
So, where did you grow up?
Excuse me. I grew up just outside of Belfast, Northern Ireland, which is where I'm sitting right now. I was born in kind of a small town, like an hour away from Belfast. I live kind of in not quite the countryside, not quite the suburbs, but outside of Belfast, up in the hills right now, and I love it. Yeah, I mean, I travel about a bit, not as much as I would like to, and hopefully, you know, the more the world opens up after like post-pandemic and stuff, I get to do a bit more traveling. But yeah, I love it here. It's a place that sometimes if you mention you're from Northern Ireland, people are kind of picturing, which I guess it was at one point, but it's not like a war-torn kind of battlefield currently, you know, but it's a place that's had its troubles, but feels like it's on the up and up anyway, so it's an interesting, in some ways backwards, in some ways forward-looking place to live, but I'm happy here, man. It's my home.
Yeah, I've definitely one country I definitely want to visit. It's always been Ireland. It's really cool.
Welcome around anytime, man. I'll cook you dinner. You know, we'll have some fun.
Awesome. Now, you mentioned too, you met York, right? I remember you saying.
Yeah, I did.
Really cool.
I did. she was doing a show in Belfast. God, when would this been? Shit, I'm talking like more than 10 years ago anyway, maybe like 12 years ago. She was doing a show, and I think it was the Waterfront Hall here. I didn't make it to the show because I was working. I was working in a comic book shop at the time.
Oh, okay.
York was in like shopping for Pokemon toys with her kid, so me and my friend Scotty, we got to sell her a couple of Pokemon toys. It's cool. I think the comic shop is a place we don't get an awful lot of celebs here. We get some, but you know, the comic book shop was always a place where we would attract like sort of some famous people and stuff. I was in there like. I still go there. I still love comics. I still shop there and stuff. I was in there a couple of years back, and my mate who works there, he was like, "Oh man, you should have been here like 2 minutes ago. Alice Cooper was just here."
Oh my God.
So I'm always kind of sad that I didn't get to meet Alice Cooper there. But yeah, I did meet York and a few other cool celebs buying their comics, and yeah, I didn't hassle her. You know, I didn't ask her, you know, what her favorite Pokemon is or anything. But yeah, it was a cool time.
Yeah, I would have been in shock for about 5-10 minutes just seeing her, you know, first time seeing her in real life.
It was strange. It was bizarre. Like my friends were like, "Oh shit, is that York over there?" And we kind of frantically Googled to see if she was in town that night. So I was like, "Oh god, yeah, it totally is." So yeah, it was a fun time. I'm a dude who doesn't tend to get too like starstruck. But I have like a few celebrities I would just lose my mind if I met. And Arnold Schwarzenegger's definitely one. Like I have literal dreams about meeting Arnold Schwarzenegger. I just know that my mind would just pop. So maybe someday that will happen. If I got to sell Arnold some comics now, even though I don't work in the comic store anymore, he can come round and read my comics with me, and we'll have a good time. We'll smoke a cigar. I don't know. It'll be fun.
That's awesome. So what music are you currently listening to? Anything that stands out that you listen to?
Oh, what am I listening to? I'm listening to, well, we talked about city pop earlier. I'm listening to city pop always. I mean, what have I got on now? Oh yeah, I'm just looking at here. Minaku Yoshida, I'm listening to a lot of at the minute. She's got this cool album called Monochrome. It's kind of city pop. Something I like about city pop is that it folds in, like I try to do, it folds in stuff from all kinds of places. So if you listen to like Variety by Maria Takeuchi, the seminal city pop album, but it's got like rock and roll and country on it and stuff, which I really like, you know. It's called Variety because I guess it is a variety. So I like it when city pop albums do that. That one I mentioned there, Monochrome, by Minaku Yoshida, sorry, I have to double check the name. It's incredible. It's really kind of sultry and soulful and stuff. I like that very much. And I can't permanently listen to loads of jazz at the minute and stuff. Again, some Japanese stuff like Ree-Vo, Takanaka and stuff. But I listen to a lot, man. I mean, I listened to Pharoah Sanders last night before bed and stuff. Oh, you know what? Actually, what I've been listening to all day today is Rituals by Sky Yamaha, who you might be familiar with. She's she's from, I was going to say Austin, it's not Austin, I think she's from Phoenix, Arizona anyway, and she makes this incredible it's again a huge variety of music. Sometimes it's kind of chill wave leaning, almost vaporwavy. Sometimes it's kind of more world music and stuff. She's got a lot of like live flute on it and everything. I got her most recent album, Rituals, in the car at the minute. I think there might even be some physical copies of it left. I think there was like a very small run, so I've been listening to that all day. I took it on a trip with me around like the north coast of Ireland recently, and I took it on a jaunt to go and look after my mate's cat earlier, which was, you know, less kind of thrilling and ethereal, but it still was great. I was even listening to it in the hardware store this afternoon while I was shopping for bits of wood. So yeah, that's been in my brain a lot, and I recommend it very heavily.
That's really cool. I think you mentioned that on social media as well too. I think I remember.
Yeah, I think I did. Yeah. It's a really cool album. Everything the Sky Yamaha does is incredible, and I recommend checking out her work very much.
That's really cool. So I know you from Twitter. What other social media are you on platforms?
You know, I'm mostly on Twitter. I killed off my Facebook a while back because I just didn't like it. I'm on Instagram. I don't really use it too much, but I'm on there, you know. Twitter is kind of my social media home. I don't know. It feels like, you know, I guess my online presence, I kind of like in my music. I like to be able to kind of talk about a variety of stuff. I like to talk about the music I'm doing and share bits of it. You know, I also like to post whatever I'm kind of decking around the kitchen and making food, and just Twitter seems to lend itself to kind of to post on whatever I want. You know, if you're on Instagram or whatever, I think kind of to have success on it, I think you have to kind of almost have a niche, I guess. I mean, not that you really give a shit about success on social media, but you know, it's nice when people enjoy the things that you share. I think Twitter gives me the best kind of place to do that. A lot of people can tell me to join TikTok. I make a lot of videos and I share videos and stuff. I know it's like a video heavy platform. I don't know, my wife told me if I do that, like, it's creepy because it's a place, like, it's just full of, like in her mind, like, it's for teenagers only. So I don't know if that's right or not. I don't know if I'm too old for TikTok. But maybe I'll check it out. I don't know. But yeah, if people can check me out on Twitter, that's probably the best place to get a look inside my brain.
Yeah, I have to agree with the social. It's definitely out of hand. Like, I can't. I try to do what I can where I can, but it's definitely too much.
It's a lot, man. It's a lot. I enjoy Twitter. That's why I post on Twitter, because I like it. You know, I wouldn't post stuff if I didn't like it.
Yep.
Facebook didn't like it, we killed it. Instagram, it's okay, but I just, you know, Twitter feels more homely to me.
I agree. I'm the same way, definitely. So your music is on Bandcamp. What other platforms?
I mean, it's on all the big ones. It's on sort of Spotify and Apple and what have you. But Bandcamp is always kind of my musical home. I mean, as you know yourself, it's a great place to support artists, and they get we, I should say, as artists, or it sounds like an asshole thing to say, we as artists, people who make music and release it on Bandcamp get a far better kind of deal, basically, if anyone decides to support it by buying music on there, like the good stuff. It's very, very much appreciated. So to try and kind of, as a small thank you at my end, I always try to include extra stuff on Bandcamp that you can't get anywhere else. So I include like extra artwork and liner notes and extra tracks. I've got like weird podcasts on there and stuff. I've got like a cookery themed album which you can listen to on Spotify, but if you get it on Bandcamp, you get like a legit PDF recipe book of recipes by me and my family. So it's definitely, but again, it's my musical home, and it's a great place that, like Twitter, I guess, it's nice that I can talk to people who like my music through there, but they can also talk to me, and it's cool. It feels like there's a bit of more community there, and it's great. I just like being able to kind of be in touch with people who dig what I do, and to in some way kind of, you know, thank people for their very generous support, just always appreciated. So yeah, Bandcamp is the best place to check me and the buying music on, always.
Awesome. I remember the performance you had on there too, the live event.
Oh yeah, of course. Oh man, well thank you so much for being there. Yeah, I totally forgot there's a whole thing that, again, you know, you could fold in my live stream shows there and sell merch and stuff. Doing the live stream show there, Black Cloud Blowout, last year, about this time last year, I think. It was so much fun. You know, I did it from this little studio here, like with a green screen. And, you know, it might seem dorky to say, that was one of the most fun nights of my entire life, you know, dressed up in the tux, doing this ridiculous live show. I just having a blast because just, you know, live gigs are brilliant in person, but there's something kind of magic about streaming gigs because you have people from all over the world having fun, like in the chat and stuff. And I watched it back. All I wanted for that show was I wanted to be a big party. I knew it was less about what I was doing and more about the people watching it having fun, and watching it back and reading through the chat and seeing people like partying down and stuff. It was so good. It made me feel so great. Yeah, that was a cool night, man. Thanks for bringing it up.
Oh,
it was a cool time.
The chat was awesome. I think we were talking about how awesome it was. You went from like Mortal Kombat to like Andrew WK.
Two of my favorites right there.
Yeah.
Oh, dude, I was obsessed with Andrew WK, like in school. I met Andrew WK a few times since then. Yeah, actually, I got a bit starstruck meeting Andrew WK because I was obsessed with him in school. I think I invited him around to my house to play Dungeons and Dragons, which didn't happen. He did say maybe in the future. Yeah, Andrew WK is a cool guy. Yeah, he's a good dude.
That's really cool. So, before we wrap up, do you have anything else planned for the rest of 2022?
Yeah, I mean, I usually release multiple albums every year and have done since I kind of started. At the minute, I haven't really put much out in the past few months. It's because I'm busy doing a lot of kind of behind the scenes stuff. So I am working on the next Alpha Chrome Yayo album. There'll be more to share on that soon. Like, it's partly finished, but there's more stuff to do. And I've got this really cool artist, Amanda Ray, who's completed the artwork for it, which is gorgeous, and I'm so excited about releasing it. But I have other stuff going on too. I'm working on a lot more kind of commissioning stuff at the minute, doing kind of soundtracks for radio shows, podcasts and things. But something I'm so excited about is that I am currently working on more than one video game soundtrack. There's one particular soundtrack that I'm very heavily involved with. I can't really talk about it anymore because I've signed all kinds of NDAs and stuff.
Of course.
I cannot wait to talk more about it though. I am beyond excited about it. It's with just a really cool company. It feels like it was made just for me, even though I know obviously it's not. I think it will have mass appeal, but it is something that really appeals to all of my interests. I'm so excited to be involved with it. Yeah, dude, I'll tell you more about it as soon as I can.
Of course,
I'm very excited. So hopefully in the next few months I can spill a bit more. I can spill more tea about that in a few months.
Awesome, very cool. Again, thank you. I appreciate you being on the show.
Hey, thanks for having me, man.
Of course, we'll definitely do it again in the future as well too.
Dude, my pleasure, and thanks to anyone who's checked this out. You're the best.
He's got a French martini in a long stem glass, maraschino cherry for that touch of class. Wish I could take my eyes off that ass, but I can't. He pulls a thick cohiba from his inside pocket, matches and cutter, you know he's got it, synthesizer and a silk bow tie. Holy shit, it's ACY. Page me, any day or night. Page me, when the feeling's right. Page me, and I'll come running into your arms, baby. Just page me, put those digits in. Page me, let the text begin. Page me, page me, page me. Oh, me now.
Love dancing with the pals. I mean, who doesn't?
When I see you, the feeling is insane. Strutting around like your name is Niles Crane. Oh, I think I'm going to need a sherry. Alpha Chrome Yayo on stage, dance floor jumping, bodies are writhing and beats are pumping. Bombs like a funky minesweeper. Go ahead, just grab that beeper and page me, any day or night. Page me, when the feeling's right. Page me, and I'll come running into your arms, baby. Just page me, put those digits in. Page me, let the text begin. Page me, page me, page me. Oh, me now.
Just want to say a big thank you to ACY for that awesome interview and taking the time to be on the show. Also, don't forget to check out his new album, Private Garden, on Bandcamp that just recently came out. Next up, let's check out some new music videos, followed by an interview with ASHUREI.
On the silver screen, we delve into a dream. Like a symphony, we rise through the light, through the sacred trees, and both on our knees. It's infinity, a thrill, follow me down. Lifting me up, you're my love and I picture my star. You keep calling me, love. Take me higher, higher, on running, I keep on running, running into the night. Searching for something, 'cause there ain't nothing that I'm leaving behind. The heat is rising, I'm realizing there's a long road ahead. I keep on trying, something inside me pushing me to the edge. Into the unknown, now I'm breaking free. I can finally be the real me. 'Cause ain't nobody gonna hold me down no more. I'm bringing me back to life, I'm bringing me back to life. Ain't gonna stop, I got a whole world to explore. I'm bringing me back to life, back to life. No hesitating, 'cause I've been waiting for this moment in time. Intoxicated, I'm liberated and I feel so alive. And I know I'm gonna be free. Breathing in, breathing in. I feel a rush of blood go straight to my head. Gotta open up my eyes. I can see, I see a new horizon with no regrets. Where I gotta go, now I'm breaking free. I can finally be the real me. 'Cause ain't nobody gonna hold me down no more. I'm bringing me back to life, I'm bringing me back to life. Ain't gonna stop, I got a whole world to explore. I'm bringing me back to life, back to life. 'Cause ain't nobody gonna hold me down no more. I'm bringing me back to life, I'm bringing me back to life. There ain't no stopping till I open every door. I'm bringing me back to life, back to life. I feel it coming now, I hear it calling now. It's like a warning now, so I gotta run, run. Moving at the speed of light, 'cause I'm on fire tonight. And I know a change gonna come. 'Cause ain't nobody gonna hold me down no more. I'm bringing me back to life, I'm bringing me back to life. Ain't gonna stop, I got a whole world to explore. I'm bringing me back to life, back to life. I'm bringing me back to life, I'm bringing me back to life. Ain't gonna stop, I got a whole world to explore. I'm bringing me back to life, back to life. 'Cause ain't nobody gonna hold me down no more. I'm bringing me back to life, I'm bringing me back to life. There ain't no stopping till I open every door. I'm bringing me back to life, I'm bringing me back to life. I can't stop, 'cause I'm coming back to life. No, I won't stop, 'cause I know I can't stop. 'Cause I'm coming, Woo! No, I won't stop. No, I can't stop, 'cause I'm coming back to life. No, I won't stop.
Look, enjoy yourself, get stoned, and blow. Okay? Okay?
1 2 1 2 1 2 1 2 1 2 1 2 1 2 1 2. She said, pull up to my bumper, baby. 1 2 3 4 5 ladies, maybe per day. One comes and another vacate. So many first days. Red wine, red roses, empty plates. On time, but they would stay late. Always leaving something like hairbands, lipstick, always to be bait. Okay, then I guess I will participate. Give me time to deliberate. I think the lips are real, but the tits are fake. Who am I to show hate? I still think you're great. I won't ever feel shame. Lift off, blast off, shirt off, pants off, bra off, dance off, naked in the dance hall. Spacebox, Spacebox. Lift off, blast off, shirt off, pants off, bra off, dance off, naked in the dance hall. Spacebox, Spacebox. Let me take you on a journey to our next dimension. You have to physically fit and not over whole tension. Run, come follow me to a Spacebox universe. Fast, slow, tell me how you want me do it first. The way I see some man I do the girls, they feel like universe. Treat them like a gentleman, she don't even use a purse. But when me sick I need the medicine, I you the nurse. She buff, I swear down, but they convince man. Me not understand how some man. On a gay man with so much gal in the world, on no fit take one. We love the gal them straight from day one. Lady, if you want a baby, we can try and make one. No discrimination. Chinese, white, black or Asian, British or Jamaican. Keep your heads high, on no fit stay strong. We love her no. Mister, keep your heads high and stay strong. How we love ya. Lift up, blast up, shirt up, pants up, bra up, dance up, naked in the dance hall. Spacebox. Spacebox. Lift up, blast up, shirt up, pants up, bra up, dance up, naked in the dance hall. Spacebox. Spacebox. Lift up, blast up, shirt up, pants up, bra up, dance up, naked in the dance hall. Spacebox. Spacebox. Lift up, blast up, shirt up, pants up, bra up, dance up, naked in the dance hall. Spacebox. Spacebox.
Guys, with me today, I have ASHUREI. ASHUREI. Did I say that right? I apologize.
Yep.
Okay.
Yep.
Welcome to the show. Thank you for taking the time to come on the show today.
Thank you so much for having me.
Of course. So, how would you describe your music to everyone?
Probably dark, gothy, kind of witchy, in a sense. Yeah, depressing maybe.
Awesome. Okay.
A little bit.
How would you? How did you get into music? Was this something like you've listened to before, like in that genre, or was it something that you just wanted to create because that's what you like?
It was a mixture of both, to be honest. I always listened to things like The Cure and Depeche Mode, Sister of Mercy, kind of darker, gothier bands like that. And I knew if I was to make music, I'd want to go down that kind of route. But I was always hooked on synths and keyboards, so I wanted to kind of make a mesh of those, to be honest.
Mm-hmm.
A goth kind of synthy type thing.
Awesome.
Pretty much.
No, it's
so,
really cool.
Yeah, that's pretty much just The Cure, just a lot of The Cure.
Okay, I see. So a lot of the music I listened to of yours was from QL Horror. I hope I said that, pronounced that right. So that's around the same genre, I believe, right? Around the same. Okay.
Yeah.
And you were the vocalist on that, or you also produced the music, came out with the music?
A bit of both, although my friend does more of the production on that. So it's a bit cheerier than my solo stuff.
Oh, okay.
Because he listens to a lot more kind of pop punk, things like that.
Gotcha.
So we tried to interpret both of our music tastes, which are very different, into that, and that's what we came up with, pretty much.
Oh, that's awesome. That's really cool. So, where did you grow up?
I was around the Glasgow area in Scotland.
Oh, okay.
And now I live in a nice little coastal town in Scotland, nice and quiet.
Oh, that's awesome. I could tell you have that accent. That's why I always have the
accent.
So, you just came out with Artificial Anxiety, I believe, on May 5th, I believe, right?
Yep.
What was it like? And that's your solo project, I believe. Mm-hmm. Okay, what was it like coming out with that? Like, what was the creative process like?
It was kind of based on a lot of what was going on in my life at the time. Kind of mental health and things like that. Sorry to be all depressing like that, but it was my way of kind of channeling everything that was happening. So I'd come home and just bash out a song, and then get it all out, just kind of let it all flood out of me. And it was really cathartic. It was a really cathartic experience to make it. So basically each song kind of flows through what I was feeling at the time. And I find it a very good way of emotion. It's a good emotional breakthrough.
That's really cool. Yeah, it's definitely a great album. I like definitely enjoy listening to it.
Well, really thank you so much.
Oh, of course.
Thank you.
How did you like originally get into music? Like, was it at a young age or something you picked up later?
Listening to music obviously was something that my mum and dad had going on all the time. We had my mum who listened to things like Fleetwood Mac and Whitney Houston, David Bowie, and then my dad who was into Black Sabbath and Led Zeppelin, Jimi Hendrix.
Awesome.
So basically I just would listen to stuff like that all the time, and then when I hit about 18 I thought I want to make music. So my friend taught me how to play the guitar a bit, so I would write through that, and then just this year just taught myself how to produce, mix and master and things like that. And it's been great. Self-taught, just pure self-taught really.
Awesome.
That's why it's probably not 100%, but did the best I could.
No, it sounds great. I mean, it sounds like, definitely, I like it. I think it's awesome. It's really cool.
Thank you.
So what was there, like a certain instrument you liked playing? Was there like, or like what other instruments do you play?
Just a bit of guitar and then a bit of keyboard. I wouldn't by any means say that I'm fluent in them.
Oh, okay.
But I can find my way around one.
That's awesome. Yeah, keyboard was something I picked up too. I played at an early age. That was my one regret, that I didn't master it, or I can't say master it, but that I didn't keep going with it. That was my one regret I have. But I'll probably pick it up one day again.
Yeah, there's still time.
It's always been my favorite instrument for sure.
Mm-hmm.
So what kind of music are you currently listening to? Do you have any favorites at the time?
Right now, do you know the band Alexis on Fire?
I've heard of them, but I haven't listened to much of them yet.
Well, they went on hiatus for a long time, so they've just released new stuff, so I've been pretty fixated on that. And then
Awesome.
2 albums that I'm still stuck on are Psychopath by Coffin Dragger.
Yes.
And Tortured Waters by Deadlife.
Oh, okay. Awesome. That's really cool. So I found a lot of your music on Bandcamp. Where else do you have your music on other platforms?
It's on everything, any major platform that I could think of. It's also on YouTube and Spotify and things like that. Spotify is the main one that I use, to be honest.
Oh, okay.
Because I'm the type of person, you don't have to buy my music at all. Just that if you just listen to it, I'm happy, honestly.
I hear you. I always like Bandcamp. It's I used to be a big iTunes, for a long time. But I think Bandcamp delves a little deeper, gives you the genres, more specific genres, things like that as well too.
Yeah, and the artist could kind of personalize their space and stuff, so you can get to know them a lot better.
Yeah, definitely really cool. So on social media, where are you on? I see you on Twitter. Are you also on any others?
Just Twitter and Instagram.
Okay.
Those are my 2 mains. Yep.
Okay.
Yep.
Awesome.
I will make a Facebook one day.
There's too many. There's way too many to keep
yeah.
up with. It's like
Absolutely.
another job some days.
And social media is draining sometimes.
Yes, definitely. I definitely agree. I'll put all your links. It's just where everyone can find your music, your socials. I'll put all the links in the video description as well too.
Thank you so much.
Of course. So before we wrap up, did you have anything else planned for the rest of the year, 2022?
I think for the next half a year that's left, I'm going to release a few more singles and then hopefully have an album ready for the start of next year.
Okay, awesome.
That is the plans. And I would like to at least some point maybe fire out a video.
Oh, really?
So I've got some plans for one.
That's awesome. That always sounds good. So right now, I just want to say thank you. I want to thanks for coming on the show. Thanks for chatting with me. I appreciate it. We're going to play one of your tracks right now as well too, so everyone can hear.
Thank you so much.
Thank you. thank you to ASHUREI for taking the time to be on the show. It was great chatting with you. Hope you enjoyed everything. Also, don't forget to check her out on Bandcamp in the links below. Next up are some more music videos that I hope you'll enjoy.
I don't think so. If you could get me those TPS reports today, that'd be great. Well, why are you dressed like that?
It's Rococo Friday.
Oh, I forgot. Okay. I'll be right back.
Alright.
Okay, guys, it's almost that time to wrap up the show. Also, don't forget to check out popartave.com. That's my website. We can read up on some interviews and some of the best musicians and record labels from around the world. Hope you enjoyed the show. Tune in next time on episode 16 by the end of this month, and I'll see you next time.